I open up Facebook and my best friend Amanda just got married.
It was almost like a secret hush-hush kind of thing. You went off and got married without me? I said, what in the hell is going on? He made us all feel like he was going to take care of her.
It was literally picture perfect to the outside world.
Somebody was lurking around her house.
Something's really wrong. The hairs on my arms are standing up.
The first thing that came out of my mouth was like, pack your and get out of that house.
Why couldn't I put the pieces together? Was I not intuitive enough?
I should have done something. I lived a nightmare from that day on. A living, walking nightmare.
What did you do when they started fighting?
I heard Miss Amanda screaming, and I thought she was, like, getting hurt, so I ran in there.
Well, it goes to show you that you don't know what's going on behind those closed doors.
I was scared that one of them might get hurt.
Amanda is a 4th of July when it came to personalities. When you think of 4th of July, you think of sun, having fun. Amanda has a warmth about her.
And that is Amanda Pardue, age 35. And the reason why she's wearing scrubs is because she's working at the Hamilton Female Clinic.
She was the receptionist. And she absolutely loved it.
She loves helping people because that's how Amanda was. Amanda was like a ball of sunshine. And she would make you feel like you were the best person in the world. She already had 2 children. She had a boy and a girl. She had already been divorced for a couple years before I met her.
The children ended up going to live with the grandparents, but her kids were doing great. And so she was still really happy and upbeat and optimistic about the future.
Amanda was a single female. She was a beautiful girl. So yes, she dated. At that time, it was the big rave to go on the internet to find somebody that you can connect with. So she was going on them sites. She hit left. And that's how she met Seth Peralt, through the internet.
Well, he was very handsome, kind of dashing, had a little bit of money so that they could do things and have fun.
He made her feel wonderful, beautiful. Before you knew it, she was in love. They were in love. We were like, slow the roll, slow down. But how can you tell somebody when they're in love to slow down? Seth had this beautiful home. The town was called Social Circle. It's here in Georgia. But Amanda was looking for love, not a home. It wouldn't have mattered if he lived in a mobile home or if he had that home. She was in love with him. They moved in together. A little bit fast. A little bit fast, but wonderful.
Well, I was so happy for her, very happy.
I went and visited Amanda to check out this guy because I want to know more about him. And I interrogate people. And I interrogated him. And that's how I found out a lot of things. Well, he couldn't tell me how he made his money because he didn't have a job. You got your beautiful home. You got your cars. You got your motorcycles without a job. How do you do that? Because I would like to know, because I want to do that. He didn't have no money. That it was all his father's money. That's how they were living. That's how they were eating.
I mean, who's almost 40 and has their parents paying for everything?
Six months after her and Seth had moved in together. Knock, knock. You have a little girl. I get a phone call from Amanda. It's funny now. Saying he's got a kid. And I'm thinking, where in the hell did this baby come from?
It was a surprise that Seth had a daughter. Her name was Bray.
Seth had this ex-girlfriend, and they ended up having a baby.
I know that Amanda was oddly cool about it. She's a better person than I am. I would have had questions.
She opened her arms and took that child in. Amanda fell in love with her. No qualms, no nothing. She took that child in, it was her own.
I open up my phone and I look on Facebook, and my best friend of 38 years just got married.
The only people who were at the wedding was Seth, Amanda, her daughter, her son, and Bray. That's it. It was almost like a secret hush-hush kind of thing. I said, you went off and got married without me? Oh, Vina, it was so rush, rush, rush. He wouldn't let me get my hair done. He wouldn't let me do this. He wouldn't allow me to do that. I said, what in the hell is going on? If you are so much in love with somebody, would you not give him the wedding? Would you not want her sisters there and her best friend and her to be so happy? That tells you it was a business. He wanted Amanda for a certain reason. I told her it was a very bad idea to stop working. You always have to have your own little money. But what I got from Amanda is that Seth wanted her home to be a housewife. That was his way of controlling her. Financial control. By telling her how much she can spend, what she can spend. Why? He's got her life in his hands. And he knows it. One day, I got a phone call from Amanda saying that my husband's going to join the police force. I said, what? You go from not having a job to becoming a police officer. And in Georgia, that is a lot of weight. You're a good old Southern boy that's a cop. But she was so proud that he did it. You have pictures of him getting his badge, and she's standing right next to him, and they're all beaming with pride.
The idea of Seth becoming a police officer was mind-boggling to me. I think that he specifically chose being a police officer for his ego, so that he could have more control, even more than he already had. When Seth wants something, Seth gets it.
For him, that uniform meant I'm better than you, and now I can prove it. I am above the law, because I am the law.
I am a real estate broker. Amanda had reached out to me and asked me to help Seth's father with selling the house at Social Circle. So I had a friend at the time, and I said, let's make a road trip out of it. Let's go visit my friend Amanda. And Amanda was just so happy to see me. We walked through the house, and she's so proud of the decor. But all of a sudden, Seth walks in. And I look over at Amanda, and she's like ghost white. Her entire demeanor changed. Once we got into the car, my friend said, Carrie, something's really wrong. And she said, look, she said, the hairs on my arms are standing up. She said, Carrie, don't be surprised if he kills her. I was like, you are insane. I was so confused because Amanda had what she'd always wanted. She had the house. She had Bray to take care of. She's living her best life. I didn't want to hear what my friend was trying to articulate to me, that Amanda was in danger. I wasn't ready to hear it.
They had lake access. They have golf carts. Very safe neighborhood. It's a perfect neighborhood to raise your family in there. When they first moved in there, everything was hunky-dory. And the neighbors thought Seth was a nice gentleman. They felt a little bit more secure because he was a police officer. He was the law.
Life looked perfect. It was literally picture perfect to the outside world. Amanda always made it out to be that everything was fine. Everything's great. So I started feeling a little bit better, a little bit more comfortable until the text started coming. Amanda finally started bringing me in a little bit about some things that were going on with her. Seth would call her fat and would just demean her and call her really ugly names.
That's like the beginning. But them little things escalate. And before you know it, he's pushing you around, grabbing a hold of you. For him, it's like a power trip. They're trying to mentally break you down. They began to fight. So what Amanda did was went to the next door neighbor's bushes. She hid in their bushes so he wouldn't see her.
And Seth automatically assumed that she went to the neighbor's house. And he literally barges in the door of this neighbor, and he's going through their house, and they're just like in shock. And they're like, what are you doing here? I'm looking for my wife. Where's she at? I know she's here. And they're like, no, she's not here. Get out of our house. We're going to call the police. And he says, I am the police. To me, that shows me that he's not a real police officer. He's more of a wolf in sheep's clothing. These were strangers. And if he could treat complete strangers like that, I thought, what must Amanda have been going through all alone? I stopped receiving phone calls. I stopped getting messages. All of that went away.
She'd be calling me through the iPad or Messenger, Facebook Messenger thing. Amanda did not have a cell phone. I believe the reason why she did not have a cell phone is that he could keep tabs on her all the time. Seth had completely controlled the money because Amanda didn't have any.
Amanda couldn't even buy feminine products. Her basic needs were not even being met.
We successfully got her to leave a couple times. She would leave and he'd be on the phone trying to get her back before she could get out of the driveway.
He finds her kryptonite, and her kryptonite is, if you don't come back, who knows what's going to happen to Bray.
Seth would call, make that phone call, and she would go home. That little girl is what kept her in that house, because she considered that little girl her own child, and she was not going to leave her. My birthday's on June 6th. Amanda always would call me. I was getting a little confused because Amanda wasn't calling me for my birthday like she always does, and we Zoom. So I would physically see her. Well, she wouldn't Zoom me. She would just call me. And I said, no, I want to Zoom. I want to see your face. I want to see you. And she's like, no, 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 no. And I'm thinking to myself, something's not right. I had my phone in my hand. So I quickly hit that button for a Zoom to where we could be on camera. And I took that picture within seconds. Picture I took of Amanda, it scared me. So I took the picture, I don't know, so I could show her one day, so she could see it, you know? Like, this is what he does to you. You can see where her jaw is all swollen. And I asked her, what's going on here? Well, she told me really what happened. He turned around and jacked her right in the jaw. Just punched her like a man. He almost broke her jaw. That's how hard he hit her. Then another occurrence happened. These are the pictures that she took of herself. Looks like he punched her in the face. Her eyes all swollen. It just makes me angry. Just anger. After that picture was taken, life got a hell of a lot worse. Everything escalated.
Some days later, I get this really alarming, cryptic text from Amanda. Have a super jealous husband that records everything. He will see this message because our phones are synced and my house has cameras throughout. And then she says, monitored all day and night. You know, she's scared. She can't do anything without him seeing what she's doing. And then Amanda says, have a nice place, but living in a prison. Going to delete these messages. He may still see them, but keep them for me, please. Amanda was leaving breadcrumbs with me because she trusted that I would be able to communicate if something ever happened to her. I had the breadcrumbs. Why couldn't I put the pieces together? Was I not intuitive enough? I feel guilty that I could have done more. or should have done more.
One night, I got a phone call from Amanda. This is probably 9:30, 10 o'clock. Saying that somebody was lurking around her house. She saw somebody walking. She didn't see who it was. It was a shadow. She could tell that it was a man that walked by the window. It scared the crap out of her. I said, well, did you call 911? She goes, no, I called Seth, and Seth told me not to call the cops, that he's going to take care of her when he gets home. He told Amanda, do not call the police. Don't get them involved. The second time it happened, again, I thought, it's got to be one of these hoodlums that are around the neighborhood trying to break into people's cars or something. And then the basement door, somebody was trying to get in it. She's got a child at home by herself. Somebody's wiggling the door. She's scared. She calls her husband. He tells her, calm down. I'll take care of it. That's when I knew something wasn't right. He's a cop. Somebody's trying to break into your house. Where's your security? Where's your lights? They only occurred when Seth was on night shift. It never occurred any time when Seth was actually home.
So we had the suspicion all of this burglary nonsense was purely Seth playing games with Amanda, terrorizing her and just control over her and making her feel fear.
On January 28th of 2020, I got a Zoom call from Amanda. She was in the bedroom with Bree, and she was crying hysterically. I knew something was going on. She's Zooming me. So I'm getting an actual view of Amanda when it actually went down. Seth grabbed a hold of her and pulled her out of the house. You can hear Bree in the background. Mommy, are you okay? Mommy, are you okay? First thing come out of my mouth is hang the phone up, call 911.
Amanda finally gets help from someone outside. The neighbors provided Amanda with a safe place, and police are called.
Thank you for holding. How may I help you?
Yes, can you please send the officer out to Long Island Drive?
What is your name?
Amanda Perrault.
Okay, and what's going on today?
It's my husband. He's putting his hands on me.
Who is?
My husband. He works for Eatonton Police Department.
What's his name?
Michael Seth Perrault.
Has he threatened you with his weapon or anything?
No, he hasn't, but he has put his hands on me. He's like putting his finger in my face and pushing me against the wall and putting his hands on my neck.
Okay. We'll get somebody out there, okay?
Seth Perrault's wife reported that she'd been assaulted by Seth. The deputies responded. She had some reddish marks around her neck area, chest area, right in here. He basically battered her in that way and thrown her out of the home. They, in turn, talked to the daughter. She ran and hid in the closet while this happened. That wasn't the first time she hid in the closet, that she tried to intervene to help Amanda.
And how do you say your name?
Bray.
Bray?
R-A.
What did you do when they started fighting?
I was kind of just there trying to protect Miss Amanda because Daddy could take on his own self. I went to go in my bedroom because my dad said so, and then I heard Miss Amanda screaming, and I thought she was like getting hurt, so I ran in there, and I think Daddy may have kicked her. I'm not really sure. And then all of a sudden, Daddy just started grabbing her arms, and then she was trying to get around him, and then Daddy just pushed her over the laundry table.
And Bray says, you know, my daddy hit my mommy and pushed her out the door.
What did you think when you saw that?
I was mad at my daddy. I don't understand why Daddy would do such a thing.
The cops put him in handcuffs and take him out of the house.
As they were getting ready to put him in the patrol car and take him to jail, he said to her, I got you now.
And Amanda's telling me they're taking him to jail. They're taking him to jail. The first thing that came out of my mouth was like, pack your and get out of that house. You don't get it. He's going to lose his job over this. He's going to kill you, Amanda. The next day, she goes to the court.
The judge considered that Seth had to stay away from his wife as a condition of bond while this matter was pending. But Amanda actually said that she did not want that to occur. Now, she was distraught. I could tell. The judge was very adamant, asking her, was she sure she didn't want a stay-away order in place? And she answered that she was sure. Her response was, well, he doesn't have anywhere else to go.
Of course he had somewhere to go. He has family. He had plenty of places to go. He's sitting in that jail cell. His world is crumbling around him. And Seth used Amanda's love for Bray. Amanda's worst fear was, would he hurt Bray? He verbalizes that to Amanda. I can only imagine that she felt defeated. So that was Amanda's attempt at trying to show Seth, I can fix this. I can fix it. And Amanda knows a restraining order won't stop Seth.
And Amanda went to that judge and told that judge he can come home. I was sick to my stomach. When she did that, that judge signed her death warrant. In his eyes, Amanda had ruined his life. And that was it.
Not only was Seth getting ready to lose his job as a police officer, he was looking at losing custody of his child too.
He sat there in that house with her for 6 days. I remember being on the phone calls with her. I'm talking to her saying, are you okay, Amanda? How is the situation? How is he acting? And he was acting so nice. It was disgusting. I was like, you need to get out of that house, Amanda. You need to get out of that house.
That day in February, I pulled up to Long Island Drive with my subpoena for Mr. Peralt. When I got to his place, I had one of those video doorbells, and I pushed the button and waited. And I heard heavy footfalls inside the house. And I assumed that it was somebody running to the door. The footfalls moved from one side of the house, kind of toward the front door, but not to the front door. And the footfalls retreated I rang the doorbell again. I was there for about 7 minutes. Like, come on, man, just answer the door. The man would have known what it was. And finally, I gave up. So I drive away from the Peralt's house and I go on about my patrolling. I make it 3 or 4 or 5 miles away, and I get a call from my shift supervisor requiring me to return to the Peralt house because of a reported incident. I go quickly. Seth Peralt comes out the front door of the house. He was holding his cell phone, and he was blubbering. He was inconsolable. He said that Amanda was dead.
I get a personal call from the chief of police. He's got Seth Peralta on the phone, and Seth has told him that his wife had committed suicide. We drove as fast as we could, with lights and sirens on. I arrive on the scene. Seth was sitting on the steps holding his hands over his eyes. I walked in the house and I entered the bedroom and I saw the body of the deceased. It was Amanda Peralt. And I could see a gunshot wound to her head. This is Amanda's body. And the first thing you see in the bottom right-hand corner there below her feet is the pistol itself. You see her body with her legs together. She's flat on her back. Her arms are pulled completely against her side. And on her right side, maybe 4 or 5 inches from her right hand, is the magazine to the pistol. Well, I'm a graduate of the FBI National Academy, and I've got a college degree. But you know what? Anybody could tell that scene wasn't right.
The sheriff had asked Peralt if he would ride with me to the sheriff's office. He was not under arrest. I realized just how clean he was. The man had no blood on him. Law enforcement officers are trained first responders. The first responders try to stop the blood from coming out. You don't walk away from scenes like that clean. He just kept talking and blubbering. He reiterated that his wife had committed suicide. But when we got closer to the sheriff's office, he begged me to pull the car over and shoot him in the head. It was unsettling. It made the little short hairs come up on your neck because it wasn't right. Perhaps his wife hadn't killed herself.
And so we went back to my office and interviewed him about what had occurred that day.
Sheriff, I've lost everything. I know how this goes. I'm a police officer. I know how this goes. Can I talk to you off the record and talk to you plainly?
Well, we're talking pretty plain, okay?
Yes, sir. I lost my wife. And I promise you, I'll look you in your face as a law enforcement officer. I did not do any. I had nothing to do with it. My wife looked at me and executed herself.
Of all the times I've ever questioned anybody, I've never heard anyone use the term executed.
She looked at me and said, I'm sorry. I'm sorry I put you through this. Boom. I saw my wife execute herself.
That's an unusual term to use when making reference to a suicide.
Like, listen, your deputies arrested me, okay?
This is not about the other day. This is about your wife being
Yes,
dead
sir.
today.
My whole name got destroyed. Yeah, every time she'd go click on Facebook, she'd be like, there it is.
The only thing he wanted to tell me was that my deputies shouldn't have arrested him on January the 28th, and what a great police officer he was.
I take pride in being a good law enforcement agent. I hope you know that. And the fact of the matter is, I'm a good police officer.
You want to talk about your arrest, you want to talk about all of that. I want to talk about your wife.
And I'm willing to talk to you about it.
Let me say, have you had anything to drink today? It was a very bizarre interview. It really was.
I kept on getting a Facebook phone call. And I'm thinking, who in the hell is calling my phone at 10 o'clock at night through Facebook? And it was Amanda's cousin. And first thing he said, did you speak to Amanda today? I knew it. I said, he killed her. He killed her. And that's how I found out my best friend died.
Well, I knew he was guilty, but what I wanted was more evidence before I actually made an arrest. So I'd let him go that day.
We already knew that he killed her. We knew it wasn't a suicide. And knowing that he was let go and back out on the streets was devastating.
And then I lived a nightmare from that day on. A living, walking nightmare.
I went back out to the scene. I laid down on the bed myself to show the district attorney the position the body had been in. You mean to tell me that she shot herself and then she laid supine, pulled her legs together, completely together, pulled her arms against the body, took the magazine out of the gun after she shot herself? Dead people don't remove magazines out of guns. You know, it was just evidence of guilt, in my opinion. I decided to obtain an arrest warrant and go arrest him. When I went to his sister's home where I knew he was staying, when I pulled up in the yard to get out of the car, he's sitting on the porch talking to his attorney. During the trial, I testified in court. It was absolutely obvious to me that Amanda Peralta could not have shot herself, and somebody absolutely had to have taken the magazine from that pistol, moved that pistol to the location it was, and had to have moved that body. Throughout the trial, at any time I looked at him, I never saw Seth express any remorse or anything of that. He was pretty much stoic and often looked at the table itself, not even in the direction of the witnesses or anything. One of the most damaging pieces of evidence against Seth was when his daughter said that Amanda had told her that if Seth lost custody of Bray because of that arrest, that Seth was going to shoot her dead, is what the child said. Well, he was convicted of murder. And when the jury returned the guilty verdict, the Judge Trammell, our Chief Superior Court judge, promptly sentenced him to life without parole. Well, it goes to show you that you don't know what's going on behind those closed doors. The facade of what you see on the outside is not indicative of what's going on the inside. Very sad situation.
Right now, what's important is that Amanda's story is out, but it hurts a lot. It's tremendous amount of guilt and pain and sadness.
She was my life. So yeah, I'll go to my grave thinking I should have done something. I should have just got in my car, got on the damn plane, and just pulled her out of that house. But I didn't. I gotta look up to the sky to talk to my best friend because I did not take the initiative. So yeah, go find out what's going on. Do something. Just do something.
I do take solace in that I kept the messages. When I spoke with my friend, she'd say, "You will always have my back, and I love you so much for that." My thoughts and prayers are with you in these days, months, and years ahead. God bless Amanda.
All right, guys, thank you very much for coming today. I have called you for a very special thing. We have an event day after tomorrow, and Khushi, you will make the necessary arrangements. Khushi,
Yeah, sure, sir.
you seem a bit off today.
Everything is good, sir. Don't worry, I will do.
All right, I am counting on you. All the very best.
ਕੱਲ ਰਾਤੀ ਰੋਈਆਂ ਮੈਂ ਤੇਰੇ ਕਰਕੇ ਸੁਣਿਆ ਏ ਤੂੰ ਵੀ ਰੋਇਆ ਮੇਰੇ ਕਰਕੇ ਕੁੜੀਆਂ ਚ ਲੜਾ ਮੈਂ ਵੀ ਤੇਰੇ ਕਰਕੇ ਮੁੰਡਿਆਂ ਚ ਅੜੇ ਤੂੰ ਵੀ ਮੇਰੇ ਕਰਕੇ ਮੈਂ ਨਾ ਪਿਆਰ ਕਰਾਂ ਮੈਂ ਨਾ ਪਿਆਰ ਕਰਾਂ ਕਿਉਂ ਨਖਰੇ ਦੇ ਦਿਖਾਵੇਂ ਇੰਨਾ ਨਾ ਸਤਾਇਆ ਕਰ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਮੇਰੀ ਜਾਨ ਨਿਕਲ ਨਾ ਜਾਵੇ ਮੈਂ ਜਦ ਵੀ ਕੁਝ ਬੋਲਾਂ ਤੇਰਾ ਨਾਮ ਬੁਲਾਂ ਤੇ ਆਵੇ ਪੁੱਛਦੀ ਮੈਂ ਤੈਨੂੰ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਸੱਚ ਸੱਚ ਦੱਸੀ ਵੇ ਇੱਕ ਵੀ ਨਾ ਗੱਲ ਵੇ ਤੂੰ ਦਿਲ ਵਿੱਚ ਰੱਖੀ ਵੇ ਦੁਨੀਆ ਨਹੀਂ ਚਾਹੁੰਦੀ ਵੇ ਤੇਰਾ ਮੇਰਾ ਪਿਆਰ ਵੇ ਸੁਣ ਮੇਰੀ ਸੁਣ ਲੈ ਯਾਰ ਵੇ ਤੂੰ ਨਹੀਂ ਸੋਹਣਾ ਲੱਗਦਾ ਏ ਹੈ ਜਦੋਂ ਵੀ ਲੜਦਾ ਏ ਜਦ ਵੀ ਕਿਸੇ ਨਾਲ ਗੱਲ ਕਰਾਂ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਪਤਾ ਵੇਖ ਕੇ ਸੜਦਾ ਏ ਰਾਜ ਤੂੰ ਹਰ ਵਾਰੀ ਹੋਏ ਰਾਜ ਤੂੰ ਹਰ ਵਾਰੀ ਲਾਵੇਂ ਇੰਨਾ ਨਾ ਸਤਾਇਆ ਕਰ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਮੇਰੀ ਜਾਨ ਨਿਕਲ ਨਾ ਜਾਵੇ ਮੈਂ ਜਦ ਵੀ ਕੁਝ ਬੋਲਾਂ ਤੇਰਾ ਨਾਮ ਬੁਲਾਂ ਤੇ ਆਵੇ ਸਾਰਾ ਦਿਨ ਬਿਜ਼ੀ ਰਹਿਣਾ ਏ ਤੂੰ ਯਾਰਾਂ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਬਹਿਣਾ ਏ ਤੇਰੀ ਦੂਰੀ ਤੇ ਮਜਬੂਰੀ ਦਿਲ ਮੇਰਾ ਏ ਸਹਿੰਦਾ ਏ ना सताया कर मैनू मेरी जान निकल ना जावे मैं जद भी कुछ बोला तेरा नाम बुलाते आवे
हे गाइस, तो अभी आपने हमारा दुनिया सॉन्ग देखा, सो प्लीज कमेंट करके बताना कि आपको सॉन्ग कैसा लगा।
एंड हाँ, वीडियो को लाइक करना, जाने से पहले रिपल म्यूजिक स्टूडियोज के चैनल को सब्सक्राइब कर लेना। थैंक यू, बाय बाय एवरीवन।